Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be playing Frozen Flame, and we're going to be going to the server I normally play on. We're going to be connecting to it. Today we're going to be talking about basic resources or resources in general, resources that the game provides you when you go gather them. Uh, then you can build things with those resources. And I'm just going to go over some of the basic resources. Here we are in the game, and this is one building I've made in the game, and it's the welcome center that I made for joining players. Here we're going to go over here. So when you first enter the game, this is where you enter into. And if you're on a fresh server, there'll be no buildings. It'll be an empty world. It'll be a world that the developers made, but it won't. When I mean empty world, it won't have buildings in it. Now, one of the first resources that you're going to see laying around is stone. And how stone works is you just can go near it and hit the E command. So it's just one and done kind of thing. So you can run, and just as you run by the stone, when you see it on the ground, you can just, there it is right there, you can just pick it up and run by it. There are other resources in the game that you actually have to stop and actually hold the E command down. And before we get into that, I just want to hit the tab command, go to craft, and I just want to show you that these are the items that you can build in the game. This item all the way to this item is stock. No, this one's not stock, sorry. This one I had to buy. You have to, when you want more blueprints, or you want to be able to make something outside of the stock items, you have to buy the blueprints in this game. And there are vendors or NPCs in the game that are vendors that will sell you blueprints that allow you to make things that are outside of what I call stock items. And so you'll be able to make this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one when you begin the game. That for sure, that's what you'll be able to make. And as you can see with this one, workbench, you need logs and stones. For the flower bed, you need logs and fiber. For the basic straw bedding, you need fiber and branches. For storage box, you need logs. For the campfire, you need stone, logs, and branches. And for the axe, you need branches and stone. So the first thing you're going to want to make is an axe. And once you make the axe, and I have the items in my inventory, so it's just a double click. And I've made it. And it goes into my inventory automatically, and it ends up showing up on a hotbar, which is the 5 key. In this case, it went down to the 5 key. So to get the logs, I'm going to pull out my axe, my steel axe that I have, and you just attack the tree. And the tree crumbles to the ground, and you get logs, and you get branches. So you get both those resources. So you got logs and branches from the tree. Another way to get the branches is branches will be right on the ground too. So you won't be able to cut a tree down when you first start if you want to get branches. You just go look for them on the ground right there. There's some branches. And those are what I call one and done. So when you run by branches, you just can run by them and pick them up as you run by them. So if you're going branches and stone gathering, it's just running by the resource and hitting E once. Now, there are items in the game, resources in the game, which you have to hold the E command down. And then you get it. And that gave me the fiber that you need for those beginning. So there you go. You got fiber, we got the stone, we got the branches, and yep, there's some branches right there. And then the next thing that we want to look for resources, well, we'll go this way and then I'll explain it to you. There are monsters in the game that are going to drop key resources. This is one monster in the game here that is passive during the day. At night, it will outright attack you. I'm going to pull out my steel sword and I'm just going to attack it. And with my sword, I kill it like instantly. So it didn't drop anything. So I'm going to go kill this one here. And that one didn't drop anything. And that's the thing with monsters in this game. It's not you're not guaranteed a drop in this game. There we go. So I'm going to hit take, and you'll see that this monster gives you the magic seeds you need. And you're going to need a lot of those in this game. So anytime you collect those, you want to save them. You don't want to throw them out. Definitely it's not an item you want to drop. Now you're going to ask yourself, well, Tarkis, my inventory is going to get, full. So what you want to do is you want to build these storage chests. And if you're on a world that doesn't have complete destruction of items, then it doesn't matter. So I'm going to attack this tree. It doesn't matter if you put them down anywhere. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to go to craft. I'm going to get that. And it says I need a floor, right? I need to put this on a floor. Well, that's just as easy as going to your tab, going to your queue and going to basic. I've picked up the branches already. I only need 2 branches to make this floor. So there you go. I just put a floor down. And then I go to my tab, go to craft, go to storage bin, and then there you go. Now the storage bins, I have these all over the world. So when I'm gathering resources and I get encumbered, I just run up to this box and dump the items in that I want to not carry anymore. And then I move on. And then I go to the next, and I just keep on doing that. Now, yeah, granted, somebody can come on the server and destroy this box and then get everything that's in it. You take that chance. But if you know you're not playing with people that are like that, then you can have these little catchies anywhere you want. And what's nice is if the world doesn't destroy it, our world only has down to, I think, 30%. So this box will get destroyed down to 30, the environment, because it's not covered. If this box had a roof on it, if it had a structure above it, then it wouldn't degrade at all. But you can be confident to throw it down, let it degrade. It's not going to destroy itself on most servers, and just throw your stuff in there, and then you can have these little places where you can just put your items while you're encumbered if you don't want to go back, and you always can come back. And what I did early on is I used to put 3 or 4 of these right next to a transporter, and this way I could just grab what I wanted out of a box, go to the transporter, get to where I was going, put it where I wanted, and then go back. So it's basically only here temporarily to help you with encumbrance problems. All right, so let's go this way. I want to show you another resource. As you can see, I'm encumbered. Now watch me run while encumbered. See, I'm speedy. I'm running faster than normal. And that is because I took the perk that allows me to run while encumbered. Most people don't realize how important that perk is, because you're running double speed while you're encumbered. Now, if I didn't have the perk and I was encumbered, I would walk really slow all the time like this. So I'd be encumbered, and this is how I'd walk. And as I got more encumbered, I'd even walk even slower. But with the perk, it never bothers me. So some people say they have problems with resource gathering in this game, but if you take the right perks, you can bypass the encumbrance system in this game. All right, so I'm going to go down here and attack this humanoid monsters. There's not many different variety of monsters in this game. You got some humanoids, you got pigs, and you got that blue creature that I attacked there at the beginning. And the reason why I'm going after these, see how fast I am? The reason why I'm going after these humanoids is so I can show you the next resource you're going to need. There we go. Is the linen, or I believe that's what they call it, or it's fabric. It's called fabric in this game. So this is fabric, and then the fiber is what I picked up from the plants. And this guy is going to attack me. And in this game you can dodge. You can see as I dodge, it eats into my stamina bar, but I recover it because it's a newbie mob, or it's in the newbie zone, and I'm well prepared or well geared. He's not going to do any damage to me. And I can sit here indefinitely and just laugh at him. But I'm going to kill him. And by doing so, I'll probably get some more fabric. No, I didn't. All right. So another resource in this game is this here. And you have to hold the E down. Now, these items that you pick up are items that you would cook in this game. You'd go to a campfire, cook food, and then once you cook the food, then you'd put it down in your hotbar. And I might show you that before we end, because this is a resource video, so I'm just trying to show you really how easy it is to get the basic resources in this game. Here's another one of those guys, so I'm just going to cut him down. And nope, no drop. So the other resource is mushrooms are in this game. I mean, there's not many resources in this game currently. I mean, once you've seen this video, you're gonna know that there's not a lot of resources in this game. I mean, the game's in early access. This resource here is flint, and you're gonna need a pickaxe. And how you need the workbench to make the pickaxe, and I'll show you that on my way back. And when you attack these things, they drop stone and they drop flint. Now, the flint number is random. I only want the flint. That's the only thing that's important to me right now. So, I'm going to just run in this direction here. And like I said, I run fast because here those creatures, because it's nighttime, they will aggro you. See, they're attacking me. And I'm using, I just use my pickaxe. But if I use my sword, on these guys, it's a one shot and done kind of thing. And again, these guys usually will drop the seeds that you need. You're going to need those seeds. So trust me on that. Here's some more fiber. Hold the E down. And the mushrooms, again, you have to hold it down. All right. So we're going to go in this direction real quick so I can show you. I don't think I want to go that way. Let me go this way. I was talking about monsters in this game. See, we've seen these things. We saw the humanoids. The other big... Here's another humanoid that's got a bow. The other big thing that you'll fight in this game are pigs or wild boars. And those drop meat that you'll use for cooking. And I'm just running through here so I can just show you, you're not going to see a huge variety of different monsters in this game. It's really you're going to see a few, and that's really it. Now the bosses that you fight are unique monsters, so those are going to be unique monsters to fight. It's just that out in the wilderness, you're gonna see what we've seen so far. I'm trying to find the location that I know there's pigs, so that I can show you that resource. Oh, and you got locations like this that these guys spawn, and they're protecting the chest. So if you initially attack if this was the first time attacking those guys, I guess I never cleaned out this camp. So there you go. I had never cleaned that camp out. So here's some branches. So because I hadn't, that chest was available to me and I was able to loot it. So I guess let me hit the M to see where I am on the map. Yeah, I guess I went down there I'm 20th level and I just never bothered to clear that camp out. We're just running in this direction. Here's some more of those resources here, the fiber. And, you'll see, there's one of those pigs. That's what I was looking for, so I can show it to you. So these guys, you're going to see these. There's two types of them. They're the small ones, which I just took out there. And again, they're going to drop this resource. And it's meat. And you'd put it on a fire. And again, that resource. Now, like I said, there's two types of pigs. There's a large one, which you'll find in the outer islands. So once you get the ability to fly, you'll have a chance to kill the bigger ones. And the bigger ones will drop a hide. They only drop one. It's, I don't know if I've got one in my inventory. No, I do not. But it's a hide, and that hide is needed to, and these are just the small ones. On the main island, you're only going to see the small ones. And the small ones are always going to just drop the meat. So I'm just going to outrun them because we've seen them. I'm going to go back to the starting location so I can just show you, in addition to the items, these items that you can make with the stuff that we've picked up. There are additional items that you can make, but you have to be at a crafting bench. And actually, I'm going to use this gentleman's crafting bench to show you. Because this bench here, as you can see, is down to 30% of its hit points. Like I said, in this world, nothing will get destroyed. So he hasn't covered it. It's been out in the elements. Oh, it looks like his crate destroyed. Let me hit E here. So his crate, for some reason, used to be here and it's been destroyed. Maybe somebody attacked it. And this is what he had in the crate. And I could take it, and I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it right there. So on the workbench, this is where you build other items. Now, the pickaxe. We went over gathering these resources, branches, stones, and fire. I got all those. So I can make a pickaxe here. I can make this club. I can make this stone sword. I can make this wooden staff. It needs a magic seed and branches. So the resources that you collect in the world, the developers have made it pretty easy to make the basic items you need to survive the world by just running around for 15 minutes and gathering a few items, which I have pretty much shown you most of the items that you're going to see early on. Now I'm going to go back to my base or the welcome center, just to show you like I was telling you about the larger pigs. Get out of my way, dude. There we go. Yeah, I'm just slaughtering things for the sake of it. Now, the larger pigs or hogs or wild boar or whatever you want to call them, they drop a resource. And I don't. And I got to go to this. Here we go. Whoop. Come on. There we go. So they drop a resource called large boar hide. That's what it's called. That's why I came here, so I can give you the exact. Now, outside, we killed the humanoids inside the beginning area. Those humanoids drop fabric. The humanoids that are outside the starter area, like on the islands, they will drop ancient bones and they will drop fabric. And that's random. It's not every time. But when you kill humanoids outside the starter area, humanoids at that point will drop ancient bones and fabric. Those ancient bones are used to make the next tier armor, which you see that I've got here. And you have to be at this crafting station to do it. Now you're going to ask yourself, well, how do I make that crafting station? Well, you need to make the artisan table. I think maybe you don't need I know you need the artisan table for the sawmill. I think maybe this is just a craft. Yeah, that's just a basic craft that they give you. So the second row, the advanced row. So we went over this row and how easy it was to get the resources. And this is the second row. And here, if you want to make the stove, you'll need stone, which I showed you how to get. Now, it's going to ask you for 4 of the solid essence. Now, that's the reason why I showed you the resources around the flint. You go to these boxes here, these planterns, and you can make that solid essence for 1 magic seed, which we gathered, which I showed you how to gather, and 3 flint, which I showed you how to gather. So right there, you can, what I call cook them, but it's putting them here to make. And again, this goes to resources. These here are things you need, resources in the game to make things, but they require the lower tier resources to get there, or lower tier to higher tier. So this first one here, the flame essence, is used for a lot of things that you build in this game. You just need 1 magic seed and you need to grow it in the plantern. once you grow it in the planter and you have this resource, just like I just queued up these resources. This one here requires iron. And I wanted to tell you about iron because that's another resource we didn't talk about. Iron is going to be on your outer islands again, outside the beginning zone. And it's going to look a lot like the flint does. It's going to look like this node. But instead of the golden orange look on the edges, it's going to be a dark gray look. And you'll know the difference. So when you attack that, you'll get the iron. And again, that's going to be on your outer islands. You'll be able to get that. So those will, so it didn't take long to, so what you do now is you just take them out of the planter. And once they're done cooking, you just take them out of the planter. And now if I went to my tab command and go to craft, it's still not available for me to make. Which one was it? It was the artisan table, or was it the, it was the stove we were talking about. I only need one more stone. And I'll just do that real quick so you can see. So I can't make it yet without, there it is. There's my stone. So now I can go to that. And now I can lay it down. Now you have to lay it on a floor. See here, I have to put it on a floor. Oh, it kicked me out because that guy attacked me. I noticed that if you take damage while you're in building interface, you'll get kicked out of it. Yeah, there's a tree growing in my house. I'm just going to put this right here. So there you go. See, I built that. Now, it's going to need resources to light it up. And I had the logs that we cut. So I just put 2 logs in there. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the resources, the food resources. We got this from the pig. We got these from these are the mushrooms. There are trees in the world where you can get apples. I can go show you those real quick. And then these are the sweet berries that we got off the berry bushes. And what you do is you just drag the items up, these resources, and it will cook a meal for you. Once that meal is cooked, as you can see, there's a timer. So the more complex the meal, the longer the timer, but it's going to kick out a new resource. And that resource is fruitcake. And then I go to my inventory. I grab that fruitcake. I bring it down to the 6 or wherever I want to bring it. And there it sits. Now, you'll see I've got a little damage. So now if I hit the 6 command where I put that fruitcake, I'll heal myself. So the food in this game is really a healing ability, and it's got a timer. So if you eat the fruitcake, if I had another fruitcake in my inventory, it would show me what the timer was, how many seconds I would have until I could eat another one. So you need to be kind of aware that you eat it, there's a timer to eat the next one. But that's how you make items, edible items in this game. And the fruit trees, I know I ran by probably a couple of them. There's one right here next to this guy. You just go up to them and you hold the E command, and that gives you those apples. That's what I use to cook in the stove that we just made. I mean, those are really the basic resources in the game, that things that you need to get started to really move forward in the game. I'm just running in this direction because I want to show you again these camps. When you activate them, mobs will spawn. So if you need to get fabric, this is the way to get it early on, is you just come up to these camps and loot them. Now you can also destroy these boxes and hope something drops. Here, bluefish drop. Another resource. So there's fish in the game that you can catch with your hands. And how you do it is you got to be quick. So you see them in the water, you need to sprint towards them and grab them before they swim away. But you can add that to the stove and cook a meal. And you'll get different recipes based on what you mix and match. Here's some more of the fiber. and this is the fabric. So what's nice is with the fiber, though, if you have a loom, and a loom is something that you can make in this game, you can convert the fabric into fiber. So again, another way you can get the resource, where I was telling you you have to kill the humanoid mobs to get the fiber, but once you have a loom, which I have in this, I hold the E down, and for every 3 fiber, I make 1 fabric. So that's another way to get your fabric, and you'll need fabric, and you know you'll definitely need it in this game to build armor. Now you can ask yourself, what other resources there might be? Well, another key resource in the game, if you go into Q and hit it twice and go to this wooden, you're going to need lumber. And lumber is easy to get in this game. Once you create a sawmill, which is right here, and you have logs, you can make the lumber. So that's lumber. Lumber is another resource that is in the game currently to allow you to build these wooden structures. Well, that's really what I wanted to go over, just basic resource gathering and how the developers have created it to be pretty easy. I think that was their goal when they kind of thought about it, was let's not make it impossible for people to find this. Maybe if we have hard mode maps in the future where resources are scarce and you have to PvP for certain resources, that would be nice. But right now, the resources are literally just laying on the ground. You just run around and just pick, and they're literally on the ground. And they give you everything you need to start your character and get to the axe, and then make the axe, and then use the axe on the trees. The trees give you the logs. The logs give you lumber. The logs also are used to feed your fires. If you want to I started this fire. Well, I'm going to see, this tree is in my house. I just attack it and get it out of my way. Unfortunately, the materials go into the house and I can't get them. But I use logs to start this fire. So logs are used. That resource is used for the fires in the camps, because the other camp you'll find are these here. This is the basic one, and this is the one you'll probably start when you first get on the server. And as you can see, it's here, and that just requires stone, logs, and branches, and you can make that. And then you feed it logs to so you can't even make that until you make your stone axe, and that's pretty simple to make. Now I got a creature attacking me because I was saying that these things go hostile at night on you. All right, well, I'm not going to take too much more of your time. This is basically a video on basic resource gathering and the resources that are currently in the game. And the game hasn't made it complex to get those resources. There have been games where I had to grind to get a resource, and maybe that might be a future thing for this game. But currently, right now, if you want to get the game, getting the resources you need to fulfill your gaming experience with whatever you want to do within the game, they give it all to you. They're not they're holding back stone structures right now because they haven't implemented it in the game. But if you've got it in your ability, if you've got it here, then you can build it. Like this tent, I only need branches and fiber, and the nice thing about the tent or the hovel is it doesn't need so I can just put it anywhere, and I can sleep in it, and I'll get the rest bonus. But what's also nice about it is I can hit the T button, hold the T button down, and now that's a resource in my inventory, another resource. Meaning that I can use it again. I can basically I can carry it around with me all day long, and anywhere I want to put it, I can pull it out of my inventory and put it down. I can even stick it into a storage box too if I want. So if you're putting storage boxes around the world and you just want to put it in a storage box, you can do that. Let me just find a box here. This is It's got a space, so I just double click, and there it is. It is in the storage box, and that's somebody can have it. If they go in that storage box, they can just take it, and I don't mind because that storage box is open for the public, I believe. And that's one thing about the boxes you need to understand, that if you're putting those boxes around the world and you don't want people to mess with them, you want to go to R, hold R down, and change the permission to you only. So just make sure that when you're putting boxes down and you're just using them for like staging areas, that you put it to owner only. They default to friends. So it defaults to friends. That means anyone in your friends list will have access to it as a default. But if you change it to owner only, then you'll only have access. In this case, we're giving those items away, just like we're giving these items away up here. All these items are free. These boxes are open to everyone. And there's that lumber. If I go back into that box, there's that lumber or planks. I guess I should have called them planks. There's the planks that you get. That's the resource that you get. So here is some logs, and if I go here, I can make the planks with the logs, and you get 3 planks, and again, another resource in the game, and that resource allows you to build structures like the one you see around me. All right, well, I just going to close by just saying that this game has a lot of potential. This is our Discord channel information if you want to join us on Discord. I believe as future updates hit the game, we're going to see more resources added, and those resources, we'll collect those and we'll be able to build other things. All right, well, this has been the Tarkis Zone. Thank you for joining me.